Hi, this is Natalie Rydstrom from oddsmarket.com. Joining us right now is Martin Green, sports writer for us here at Oddsmarket, who's actually written an article for the Premier League rundown, which we're about to cover week 37. Now, we've obviously got 10 matches taking place this weekend. Plenty of value as sort of the final team scrabble for those points, either to save themselves for relegation, get themselves in sort of the Europe spot next season. So, out of those 10 matches, which ones are you looking at, Martin?
Well, after Leicester wrapped up the Premiership title in fairy tale fashion at the weekend, all the excitement is coming from the bottom of the league, really. You've got three teams, Norwich, Newcastle and Sunderland, who are all fighting for their lives to avoid relegation. Only one of that three can make it. So those are the games that I think will see the most action. All three look interesting, and I think Norwich have a pretty tough challenge ahead of them. They're facing a Man United side that are banging form, and they're also desperately trying to break into the top four. So I quite fancy Man United to win that one. Then we move on to Sunderland and Newcastle. Sunderland have a very difficult game against Chelsea. Chelsea don't have much to play for, but they're in the shop window a bit with a new manager about to join. So a lot of their players are really going for it at the moment. So I'd be worried for Sunderland. But Newcastle have a much easier game at Aston Villa, who are in dreadful form. So I'd back Newcastle in that one. I think this could be their weekend.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And obviously they're just out of relegation right now. Newcastle, Rafa Benitez will be paid a hefty sum if he keeps his team out. I think reports of like 5 million or something like that. Not a bad.
Amazing. Well, it's a bargain, really, if he does keep them up, because the riches involved in staying in the Premiership are astronomical, and there's a new TV deal to be signed next season, so it'll be worth 20 times that to Newcastle if they can beat the drop. So he would have earned every penny, but they have found form at just the right time, and
just the right time.
That could be what it takes to keep them up. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you back them right now to avoid relegation?
It's tough, actually. I probably wouldn't back Norwich. I think it's between Newcastle and Sunderland. Sunderland are playing quite well at the moment. They're quite gritty. Jermaine Defoe's a good goal scorer. So I think it's between the two northeast sides. But yeah, of the two, I'd be leaning more towards Newcastle because they've got the momentum at the moment and they've got an easy fixture here.
Yeah. Now another sort of bet that most people are sort of sitting on the fence is obviously whether to play Leicester to beat Everton. Everton are in 11th place right now. Leicester have won the Premier League, so really neither team has anything to play for other than pride. And I'm just wondering whether sort of the other new champs of England will want to sort of, give their fans a match on their turf and beat Everton. And the price is reasonable, 2.05. I think it does reflect the fact that the Leicester have nothing to play for at that point. Would you play Leicester's win?
To be honest, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
They have wrapped up the title, and they will want to celebrate in style by claiming all 3 points. It would be a magical end to a magical season, but these sort of events have a history of not going quite as planned. Everton will be looking to gate crash the party. They are the draw specialists of the Premier League. They've drawn more times than anyone else this season, and I kind of fancy them to nick a point here. Leicester have sort of taken their foot off the pedal a little bit in the last few weeks. I just think, their minds will already be on the summer. They've done everything they need to do. They'll already be thinking about the partying. So I think they might struggle to get all 3 points here. I'd go for a draw in this one.
Yeah. On Sunday, we've got Tottenham versus Southampton. Now, obviously, for all Tottenham fans, with the Leicester win came the sort of the disappointment that they weren't going to win at the title. However, I'm sure they want to hang on to second place.
Exactly.
Yeah, and their price 1.96 to beat Southampton. Would you take them at that price?
I probably would, actually. It's a difficult one because, yes, of course, they want to finish above Arsenal. They haven't won the league, but it will be massive for them to finish above their fierce, bitter rivals for the first time since, I think, 1995 or 96. So there's still a lot to play for them. Having said that, Southampton are in very good form. They just beat Man City 4-1 at the weekend. So they're no mugs. I think it will be a tough game, but I do fancy Tottenham to just about edge it.
Yeah. Now, one match I really want to talk about, obviously, is the big highlight match this weekend, Man City versus Arsenal. Both
Yeah.
will be playing for those points there to stay in the top four, keep their top four finish. Odds on the outright are super close. You've got Man City 2.35 and then Arsenal 3.2. Now, interestingly, though, Man City have not beaten Arsenal in their last 5 head-to-heads, which I'm sure is playing on their mind. Plus, they've got a huge match tomorrow against Real Madrid. So depending on the outcome of that, whether they're going to sort of come out hurt and forlorn, or whether they're going to sort of like enter as victors and really smash this match as well. Would you play the outrights here?
I'd be tempted to. I think, regardless of the outcome of the Man City Real Madrid match, I think the Man City players will expend a lot of energy in this game. We've just seen Atletico and Bayern really give it their all, and I think it will be the same in the Bernabeu. I think Man City will be a bit tired, a bit spent after this, whereas Arsenal will have had the week to prepare.
Yeah.
So I'd fancy them to claim another victory. They beat Man City earlier in the season. City haven't been in good form in the league. As I say, lost 4-1 to Southampton last time out. So I think Arsenal could actually turn them over here.
Yeah.
And I'd even be tempted to go Arsenal draw no bet, which I imagine you could get a pretty good price for, just because they'll have the freshness and they're really still trying to play for second against Tottenham. So that would be an interesting one for me.
Yeah, Arsenal draw no bet, actually 2.2 bet 365, so not a bad bet as well. That was actually something I was looking at, that if I was going to play the outright, especially as well because Man City have just, they will have done the travel as well to Spain, so that's also something to factor in. Anything else you're looking at for this week?
The only other game I would suggest looking at is West Ham versus Swansea. West Ham are in great form. Swansea are doing well as well at the moment, but West Ham are really trying to hold that top 6 place, and I fancy them to win this one. I think they can. I think they can have enough about them to beat Swansea. The other 3 games I'd leave alone because those are between teams that have nothing to play for, and it's hard to know how motivated each side's going to be. So that would be the other one for me, but I'd leave everything else.
All right, fantastic stuff. That was Martin Green, written an article for us over at Odds Market. If you guys want to check it out, link is in the description. Martin, thank you for joining us today.